Hey everyone. I Someone asked me to talk about R. Kelly's admission yesterday of his guilt to a number of crimes. And so I wanted to do that on a Facebook Live and open up a conversation. I think for a lot of people, it's uncomfortable to ask questions about these issues or even talk about them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't go Google it. I'm going to provide links below so that you can check things out that aren't going to sort of contribute to him getting a lot of attention about this. But so I'll post a link to the song that he wrote, or I'll post the lyrics to the song that he wrote below. I'll post a link to an article that I think really thoroughly covers all the accusations, everything that's happened, what people say he's done, and sort of how the lawsuits have played out. So don't, again, go Google this. I will provide the information below. So basically, if you don't know, R. Kelly is an R&B artist who has been accused of running a sex cult. And he's faced child pornography charges. He has faced pedophilia charges. He is not in jail, and he's someone that a lot of people point to as like one of the very rich men who has been allowed to get away with violent crimes because of money. So this hits my three areas of expertise, which is cults, sexual assault, and the justice system. So I bet you're jealous that those are my areas of expertise. So the first thing to know is that as far as I can tell, he's currently under investigation and being prosecuted criminally, and he's facing civil lawsuits. So the way that you respond to this does matter. The news isn't always up to date with what's going on in the justice system. So don't like if we find out that it's been dismissed, it still matters how you respond. So the song he posted yesterday is called I Admit. Some people are reading this as him calling himself a victim of the system and of the mean women that he kidnapped and assaulted and tortured. And so he basically kind of says, I admit that they wanted it. And so that's kind of a classic, example of narcissism or borderline personality disorder. I don't want to diagnose him. I'm not a psychiatrist, but like many perpetrators view themselves as the victim of a woman standing up for herself. Do not buy into that. If you are posting about him like being like it being a vague admission and being mad about it being a vague admission, it plays into what he's trying to do. So one of the things that is fun that he asked us to do is to look up the definitions of cult, sex slave, and pedophilia, because he says he doesn't understand them. So I want to do that right now, and I will read you the definition of cult is, let me see, a system of religious veneration and devotion directed to a particular figure or object. So what he is accused of is basically leading a cult where women are forced or hypnotized or manipulated into doing whatever he says. And so he is accused of leading a cult. It's accurate. It fits with the definition. So then he asks us to look at the definition of sex slave. So a sex slave is a person who's forced to perform sexual acts and who's not free to leave the place where they're being kept or to stop the work that they're being forced to do. So as far as I can tell, this still tracks with what he is being accused of. Women are coming forward and saying that he held them, that he didn't let them eat, that he controlled their behavior. So that tracks with them being, and that he forced them to perform sexual acts. And then he says he doesn't understand what a pedophile is, what pedophilia is. So pedophilia is the first definition I found was basically a person who's sexually attracted to children. So one of the earliest accusations that he received was around Aaliyah, the other singer, and she was 15 when he married her. And so he says that it was love, not pedophilia, but she was a child, and so it still falls under that category. So those are things to know about what he's asking us to look at and how to not play into what he's saying. So he is making an admission, in my opinion, in this song. I would love to answer any questions that anybody has about this issue. And I want this to be an open conversation. So whatever your take is on this, whatever your questions are, I'm open to responding to it. And so if I see people responding to each other's posts in an unproductive way, I might delete them. But I think we can have a conversation about this that is helpful and productive. So I want to give you your homework also. So your low-level homework to do about this is to do nothing. Don't repost about it at all. The best way to deal with attention-seeking behavior like this is to ignore it. He's looking for attention, for sympathy, for people to be confused. Don't buy into it, especially if he is in the midst of a criminal prosecution. Your high-level homework, if you want to accept it, is to post R. Kelly admitted to sexual assault, abuse, and having a sexual relationship with a minor. If I'm on a jury, it's a conviction. And then when someone disagrees with you, say, that's interesting. I read this song as a total admission. And when they ask you what parts you read it as an admission, you just say the whole thing. So Angela says, can this song be used as evidence in court? Yes. It can be used as evidence in court, very likely. Whether something can be used as evidence is an argument that, that lawyers make. And so there could be reasons that his lawyers make an argument that it shouldn't be admissible. I think it should be admissible. There's a video of him singing it that I have not clicked on. Don't click on it. Don't watch it. And then the next question Angela has that's really good question and is the next thing I wanted to talk about. So a lot of times what happens when there's an accusation like this, when there's an admission like this, when there's attention-seeking behavior from someone who is a perpetrator, is we make the focus totally on him and we forget about the women who are coming forward and how strong they are. So what I did is I posted, I wish them a powerful recovery. They are like warriors. They are amazing. This should be about their strength for holding him accountable. They've done us a huge service. So this story could be about their recovery, not about him. Just don't play into his attention-seeking behavior. Okay, next question is, what do you think it feels like if you're one of his victims? Isn't it re-victimizing them? I do think it's re-victimizing them. I think that if they have the strength to come forward about this, I'm hopeful that they won't even listen to anything that he says. I'm hopeful that they're past caring about any of his words. They've been through enough. I don't think that he has the power to influence their recovery. I think that they're stronger than him, and that if we expect that this should crush them, we're doing them a disservice. So they've shown incredible strength. They are clearly amazing people. I think posting our support to them is so powerful. And if you have any questions, any other questions, go ahead and ask them below. Thanks, you guys.